Do me a favor and watch the video, okay? Thanks, bye.
Now, if you're like me who's always online 24/7, you'd know a content creator by the name of Hyojin, better known as Squizzy online. For those of you who don't know, they're a content creator who's known for their animations on YouTube, and their videos would always rack up with lots and lots of views. Oh, and they dated Pyrocynical up until 2019. Other than that, they are also known for taking part on falsely accusing another YouTuber named Slazo with false allegations, which ended up backfiring because he debunked all of the hoax claims that were made against him, and those who took part on taking down Slazo ended up apologizing or quitting social media or not apologizing at all. However, in this year of our Lord that's 2022, Hyojin was accused of abusing their partner, who is also a content creator named Punk Duck. Just a disclaimer, please do not harass any of the people that are involved in this situation, as I do not condone that towards the both of them. Anyways, going back, he made a tweet detailing every event on what Hyojin did to him, and reading it kind of reminds me again of Johnny Depp's relationship with Amber Heard, just without the bed shitting and finger severing. Now, reading some of the parts of this text and putting myself into the perspective of Punk Duck is just scary and sad. I cannot even process how despicable Hyojin is, and the fact that Punk Duck has to go through all of that pain makes me feel bad for him. Just to see how horrible the abuse that he has endured, I'm going to show you one of the things he typed from his tweet. On January 3rd, 2020, my partner had received an early press copy of a game and asked for help installing it. Turns out getting early copies to work on Steam is a fucking ball ache, and neither of us could figure it out. The usual stuff happens, yelling, blaming me, etc., telling me to fuck off, so I just go sit on their bed on the verge of tears. They proceed to, in the same room I'm in, get on a Discord voice chat with their friends and start chatting like nothing is going on. I lie there in pure disbelief. I mustered up the courage to ask, "Are you actually doing this?" Bad idea. Very bad idea. Hyojin deafens the call. I tell them that what they did is fucked up, and they hit me hard. So hard, in fact, my head bounces off the wall. We just stand there, motionless, and without saying a word. I ask, "What the fuck did you just do?" They start crying and storm out into a guest room in their house. This was the first moment that I realized I was in an abusive relationship. For years, it was emotional, and now it was physical. So I did what most reasonable people do. I fucking panicked. I phoned up one of our friends who lived nearby, explained to him what just happened, and as quickly as possible, and bless his fucking soul, he saved my life. I asked him if I can stay with him for the remainder of my trip, and he instantly agrees. He immediately calls an ambulance to their house and an Uber for myself so I can get to his place. I start gathering my shit as fast as I can so I can leave without Hyojin walking on me, packing. Hyojin walks in on me, asks me what I'm doing. Before I can answer, they realize. They start crying that I've already ruined their year. I tell them I'm fucking terrified. They run to the bathroom and grab a knife. At first they pointed at me, then at themselves. I lunge to try to disarm them, and they scratch up my arm pretty bad. I managed to get the knife, but it was at this point that their mother walked in. She starts screaming at Hyojin, saying they're an attention whore, a drama queen, how they always do this, that they're sick in the head, and then she just walks away like she didn't see anything. Lovely woman. The police show up along with the ambulance. I tell them what happened, and they take my partner away. I take the Uber to my friend's place. Now this just goes on, but the gist of what I got from reading this tweet is that she's a narcissistic psychopath who only cares about themselves and has zero regard about their partner's feelings. If you want to read the whole thing, I'll link the tweet in the description down below. Also, when this kind of fight gets messed up and their mother gets involved in all of this, that's how you know you're in a very, very toxic relationship. And what's scary about all of this is that they threaten Punk Duck with a knife if he ever dares to leave Hyojin. Fortunately, he only got a scratch on his arm, but that doesn't excuse about the fact that they almost killed him. Had it not been for Hyojin's mother stopping this whole situation, this would have ended pretty badly. Also, what baffles me the most about all of this is they got off with a warning after threatening their boyfriend with a knife. He ends the tweet by saying this, and after explaining his story, he attaches a Google file drive of the text messages where Hyojin apologizes to Punk Duck. And because this is Twitter and I'm obviously just doing this for clout, attached at the end of this text block is both their apology, where they acknowledge that all of this happened, their attempt to shut me down, and the text logs after they were released from jail after the events of New Year's 2020. Abusers deserve no sympathy. If you're trapped in a situation like this, don't wait for things to get better. Leave and do not look back. I believed every promise every time. Don't make the same mistakes I did. And here are the text messages of him and Hyojin in Discord in which they apologize to him for all the wrongdoings that they did, and you can tell how he's sick and tired of Hyojin's crap. Here are also text messages after Hyojin was released from jail. Them texting him and apologizing for what they've done is pretty half-assed. Well, at the very least, she acknowledges that they're wrong, but still goes on to blame Punk Duck for this because they still see in their eyes that they're in the right. I can understand Punk Duck being justifiably angry because saying sorry isn't enough to warrant the abuse you've endured. It's basically putting band-aids on bullet wounds. Hyojin needs to be held liable for what they had done to Punk Duck, and that she also needs to address this instead of pussying out and using suicide baiting to garner sympathy. Now, if that last thing I said shocked you, yes, they actually did that after getting flack for taking part on making hoax allegations against Slazo. Even though I've said what I said in this video, please take it with a grain of salt as this will probably further develop in the future. Do I believe Punk Duck? Yes, because no one deserves to go through all of the pain that he's endured. Hyojin needs to respond to all of this because it's important to see the different sides of the story and not jump to conclusions right away. But even if they actually responded, I think people will probably not take them seriously given how damning the evidences are against them. Also, they should seek some help for their mental health and should obviously take a break from the internet. If this continues to develop, then I'll make a video about it. But anyways, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, follow my Twitter page, and I'll be taking myself on the other side.